I ain't gonna lie to you. I got a 6-1, maybe. I got a 6-1, bruh. Good body shot from Fulton. Good right hand from brother. Hey, let me run this by you.
We prepared well. It didn't go like we wanted, like we expected, but we always knew that only one David was gonna prevail. The only thing that's left is to learn from it, move on, and be better next time.
The fight between David Benavidez and David Morrell was a thrilling showdown that captivated fight fans with its intensity. The two fighters engaged in a slugfest from the opening bell, both seemingly determined to end the fight by knockout. As the rounds progressed, it was clear that Benavidez's experience and power began to take control. However, boxing pros have exposed Benavidez's win, calling it a big robbery. Social media platforms have been abuzz with reactions from fans who believe Morrell was unjustly denied victory. One fan sarcastically tweeted, "David Benavidez gets arrested outside the arena after robbing David Morrell," encapsulating the sentiment that Morrell was the rightful winner. Gervonta Tank Davis weighed in on the bout, expressing surprise at Morrell's agility given his size. Tank said, "This is my first time seeing Morrell fight, son quick to be that size," in a now-deleted tweet. Davis went further, accusing the referee of cheating, suggesting that the officiating may have been biased in favor of Benavidez. Prominent sports journalist Ariel Helwani praised the match's intensity, stating, "The Benavidez versus Morrell fight is sick, just as good if not better than expected, love it." While Helwani's comment focused on the fight's entertainment value, it also highlighted the closely contested nature of the bout. Combat sports analyst Caposa noted the dramatic turn in the final rounds, observing, "Just when the fight settles into a rhythm, Morrell turned up the drama in those final rounds. Great fight. Not difficult to score, but that delivered as anticipated." This remark shows the belief that Morrell's performance in the later rounds was strong enough to secure him the win. The animosity between Benavidez and Morrell was evident even before the fight. At a media workout leading up to the bout, tensions boiled over when Benavidez shoved Morrell during a face-off, prompting Morrell to hurl his title belt at Benavidez. Security intervened to prevent further escalation. By the fourth round, Morrell stunned Benavidez with a surprising right hook that left the Mexican fighter on the ropes, showing vulnerability for the first time in a long while. However, Benavidez, known for his resilience and relentless pressure, quickly regained his composure and started landing powerful uppercuts, breaking through Morrell's guard and pushing the Cuban fighter back, despite being on the back foot. For much of the fight,
It was one of my mistakes where, maybe I got going a little too late. I was getting going in the last 3 rounds. Maybe I should have done that earlier, but it's something to learn from, and, something that happened in that fight that was a factor. 1 second, Dan Raphael here.
David, I wondered, when we were leading up to the fight, there was a lot of discussion about your relative lack of professional experience compared to David. I know you had the great amateur background. He had so many more pro fights. It seemed like that was a factor because he was able to slow it down, speed it up, and do sort of what he wanted at a lot of the times. I wonder if you felt like that the experience level was maybe a little bit much for you. I'd actually like to hear Ronnie's perspective on that also.
It was definitely one of the main factors in this fight where it didn't tilt the balance 100%, but it definitely was something that played a role in the outcome.
Benavidez continued to pressure Morrell into the later rounds, showcasing his physical strength and ability to absorb punishment. By the 8th round, the effects of Benavidez's attack were starting to show, as Morrell appeared fatigued. His performance, which initially included some showboating and movement, began to wane as Benavidez controlled the pace of the fight. As the rounds wore on, Morrell's energy dipped, and it was clear that Benavidez was comfortably ahead on the unofficial scorecards. By the 9th round, in the championship rounds, Morrell attempted to rally, looking to steal the final rounds with aggression. However, Benavidez continued to dictate the action, inviting the Cuban to press forward. A surprising moment came near the end of the 11th round when Morrell scored a knockdown on Benavidez. However, controversy struck when the referee deducted a point from Morrell for punching after the bell. This deduction shifted the momentum back in Benavidez's favor. At the end of the fight, the judges scored in favor of Benavidez, with two scores of 115-111 and one of 118-108, making him the winner by unanimous decision. However, the result was met with criticism from WBA lightweight champion Gervonta "Tank" Davis, who accused the referee of cheating. Davis voiced his frustration on social media, claiming the referee's actions influenced the outcome of the fight. Benavidez, nicknamed the Mexican Monster, boasts an imposing record of 29-0 with 24 knockouts. Known for his relentless pressure, power punches, and iron will, he has been on a mission to establish himself as the most dominant super middleweight and a potential contender to face boxing superstar Canelo Alvarez. In the build-up to this fight, Benavidez had been vocal about his disdain for Morrell, accusing him of disrespect and vowing to make their clash a brutal affair. The press conference showcased Benavidez's fiery temperament with his aggressive remarks and a physical altercation that only added to the drama.
David Morrell and David Benavidez are going to fight.
Yeah.
Is that a fight that you're...
Oh, got it. Yeah. Well, the story with he and I was, I met him when he was a kid. And he told me, I'm going to be a world champion someday. And then I run into him and he's a world champion. That's happened to me so many times, usually with MMA fighters, not boxers. But that's when I was sort of kicking the tires of boxing yes, I will watch that fight. That's
David Benavidez, American from Arizona, from Phoenix, Arizona. Debut 2013 through 2021. I think he is still fighting. His last fight most likely occurred in 2021. Oh wait, November 13, he's got an upcoming fight versus Jose Uzcatagu, Colombian. But his last one was a TKO, took place March 13, 2021. 24, and we got another undefeated.
David Morrell is going to put up one hell of a fight. I just think David Benavidez is not what people think he is. I see a highly skilled fighter with good fluidity in his punches and his moves. The guy, to me, is one of the best fighters in the world. And I'm talking about skill-wise. Like, he got fast hands. He throws great flurries. He knows how to break you down systematically. His defense is far better than people give him credit. Him against Oleksandr Volcic, I was like, brother, this guy looks great, right? He just need more time at 175, which I think he got.
On the other side, David Morrell, the WBA regular champion, has carved out a reputation as a slick, powerful, and technically gifted boxer with a perfect record of 11-0 and 9 knockouts. Morrell is eager to prove that he belongs at the top of the division. Despite being the less experienced fighter in terms of professional bouts, Morrell has shown no signs of intimidation during the press conference. His refusal to shake Benavidez's hand and his bold move of hurling his championship belt at Benavidez's head signaled that he's not backing down.
No secret for everybody that Benavidez were, you know Robocop?
Hey, stop!
Here, that's it. Look, the Benavidez versus plan. It's 12 round. This time is the real secret. I never fight plan before. I think it's so plan not have too much power for Benavidez. So he's the big guy. He's stronger too. So you have like the good lefts. You training hard. You have power. You have everything. Nothing for you.
Keep your head up.
I can dance. I have moved. I can dance. Benavidez can dance.
The tension between Benavidez and Morrell erupted during a media workout in Miami. On December 17, 2024, their animosity boiled over into a physical altercation, escalating the anticipation for their forthcoming light heavyweight title fight. Benavidez has also highlighted the personal animosity between him and Morrell, noting, He doesn't like me. I don't like him. This tension has been evident in their pre-fight interactions, including a heated exchange during a media workout where Benavidez shoved Morrell, leading to Morrell throwing his WBA interim title at Benavidez. Canelo Alvarez, the undisputed super middleweight champion, did not mince words, asserting, "Benavidez won that fight. It's clear they don't want him near me. The sport deserves rematches when it's this controversial." Alvarez's comments hinted at long-standing speculation about boxing politics deliberately sidelining Benavidez, a relentless challenger, from securing a career-defining bout against the sport's biggest star. His call for an immediate rematch echoed a broader sentiment among fans and pundits who viewed the decision as a barrier to the matchups the public demands.
Down to 168, is that out the window now?
I'm not going back down to 168. I don't care if Canelo, if he wanted to fight me and told me to go down to 168. I don't care about that money. I don't care about none of that. I was at 168 for a while. 3 years. I was #1 contender. I was not given that opportunity, so now I'm here at 175 fighting the guys that have balls that actually take on their #1 contenders.
Have you completely lost hope in that fight happening?
I don't think about that fight. I mean, I only think about what's on the table, and I only think about what's ahead of me. I knew that this fight was potentially, we could make it. We made it happen. Now I'm only thinking about this fight and then unifying the title.
Andre Ward, the former champion turned ESPN analyst, offered a more measured but pointed analysis, acknowledging Morrell's technical prowess while siding with Benavidez's case. Morrell's defense was brilliant, but effective aggression should have swayed this. Benavidez did more to win rounds, Ward remarked, highlighting the tension between tactical boxing and the eye test of sustained pressure. His commentary reflected the subjective nature of judging criteria, where clean punching, effective aggression, ring generalship, and defense are weighted differently by each official. Meanwhile, veteran trainer and analyst Teddy Atlas delivered a scathing indictment of the sport itself, declaring, "This is why boxing's dying." Benavidez landed the harder shots, forced the fight. Judges rewarded running. Atlas's frustration with Morrell's lateral movement, dismissed by some as evasive rather than strategic, resonated with fans who felt the Cuban slick style prioritized survival over domination, clashing with the visceral appeal of Benavidez's relentless attack.
I think the purer puncher probably is Morrell for one shot. He's the less experienced guy, but he's got that Cuban background, with the amateur pedigree, over 100-something fights. He's got experience. Even though he's got a lot less fights professional, he's got experience. He hasn't fought the resume professionally that Benavidez has, so that's in favor of Benavidez. The experience, always important. But also the pedigree, like I said, where he comes from, Cuba, how, you come from that island that from the beginning when you first put those gloves on, it's all about becoming a world champ. Part of it is to escape the communist country, to get to a better life, to get to where you can pursue dreams, to get over here where you can become a world champion. And that is all there. But Benavidez comes from those bloodlines too, where it's all about with him and his father, and his family. It's all about being a champion, staying a champion, being proud, representing yourself in and out of the ring as a champion. The power. Both guys are known for that.
Media outlets further fueled the firestorm, with the ring and boxing scene publishing unofficial scorecards that overwhelmingly favored Benavidez, aligning with the fan consensus. The statistical breakdown and media dissent painted a picture of a fight where the judges' interpretation starkly diverged from both quantitative data and qualitative assessments. Social media platforms exploded with the hashtag Robbery, drawing comparisons to infamous decisions.
Made a lot of mistakes that left me exposed to getting hit more than I wanted. Next question.
David, I wanted to ask you a couple things. When it comes to a rematch, is that something that you'd like to wait maybe a couple years for before you jump back into it? And then if you can also elaborate on the difference in body shots. It doesn't seem like you really paid a lot of attention to the body like he did.
Match question, I'm not going to wait like 3 years. That would be a long time. And as far as whether he wasn't looking for the body enough, that maybe that was the case. Yes, where I felt that I should have looked for the body more, but in that sense, he was heavier than normal, and it wasn't like he was hitting me that hard either. Where like I wasn't feeling his punches a lot more than he was feeling mine.
With PPV numbers revealing a staggering 650,000 buys, proof of the fighter's drawing power, the demand for a rematch became a financial inevitability. Even as Benavidez flirted with a move to light heavyweight, in the end, the fight's legacy may hinge on whether boxing's power brokers prioritize justice for Benavidez or allow the controversy to fester further, eroding the trust of a disillusioned fan base. David Morrell expressed his disappointment at the outcome, but also acknowledged Benavidez's skills and the tough competition he provided. Morrell admitted that he had some difficulties during the fight, but praised his own efforts and determination. He also mentioned that he would take this loss as a learning experience and come back stronger in his future fights. Benavidez successfully defended his interim WBA light heavyweight title, while adding the WBC light heavyweight championship to his collection, winning a unanimous decision over Morrell. His signature relentless pressure, volume punching, and body attacks allowed him to take control of most of the fight, outworking Morrell and breaking him down over the rounds. While Morrell showed great skill and resilience, Benavidez's high pace and physicality proved too much for the Cuban star. Even before the fight, Benavidez's confidence was unwavering, and his victory over David Morrell solidified his dominance in the super middleweight division. With his relentless aggression, precision, and power, Benavidez demonstrated
for this fight, Dave Morrell and David Benavidez. For me, though, I never had a huge demand for it because I think it's a bit early for Morrell. And when you look at his last fight, Riyadh season, David Morrell didn't look that good. But a lot of people don't think David Benavidez looked that good against Boston. I thought he looked great. I just thought he gassed out, but I thought he looked phenomenal. This fight, though, reminds me a bit of how they moved along Vargas. Remember when Vargas fought Trinidad? People wanted that fight until they saw it. He was a little too young, and he was showing a lot of promise, but I think they moved him along too quickly. Don't be surprised if David Benavidez give him a boxing lesson. David Benavidez, I think he's going to show some movement, shoot the jab, be busy. I think Morrell has a puncher's chance, and I think it's a phenomenal puncher's chance because he's so athletically gifted.
Benavidez and David Morrell, right? This is the type of fights boxing needs. Two young fighters, great fighters in their division. They moved up to 175. They were at 168. The fight wasn't made there, but 175, David said, you know what, let's make this fight happen. The first few pictures, it looks like David has some weight to take off. He looks like the Tyson Fury of the 175, but that doesn't matter, right? It's all about your fighting technique, your fighting style. I think David Morrell has a great opportunity to showcase his skills, but I don't think it'll be enough to beat a David Benavidez. I think David Benavidez has a little bit too much power and too much combinations for David Morrell. David Morrell hasn't, fought anybody that is maybe top 2, top 3. David Benavidez has been in there with Caleb Plant, has been in there with some good fighters. So he is coming into the fight the favorite. But let me know what you guys think of that fight.
On the other hand, had Morrell emerged victorious, it would have catapulted him to superstardom and established him as a legitimate force in the division. While Morrell's loss is a setback, his performance in the fight still showcased his potential and resilience, hinting at a bright future ahead. The super middleweight division remains an exciting battleground, with both fighters playing pivotal roles in its unfolding narrative. However, the fight wasn't without danger for Benavidez. Despite the controversy, Benavidez's victory solidified his position in the boxing world. His performance not only earned him the WBA regular title, but also the WBC interim light heavyweight belt.
I feel really good, man. I knew it was going to be a hard fight. That's why I trained extremely hard. We're talking a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, we we sold the fight. You know, a lot of people went to see, a lot of people bought pay-per-view, and it was a great fight. You know what I mean? I think I showed what level I'm on. You know what I mean? I don't know what percentage I landed at, but I landed a lot, you know, against a great fighter. What'd you say? 41%. 41 is pretty good. That's really good. And I don't think I got hit that much either, you know what I mean? So I think that just shows what level I'm on, fighting with great fighters like this. And I'm just excited to keep putting on great fights like this, you know, calling out the best fighters and fighting with them in big arenas like this, you know what I mean?
Although his dream of facing Canelo Alvarez at super middleweight may be on hold for now, Benavidez's future is full of exciting possibilities as he continues to climb the ranks. The boxing world eagerly anticipates his next move. Interview. What do you think of David Benavidez's performance against David Morrell? Share your thoughts and opinions in the comments below.